Hello and welcome to the GameDev Outpost. In this video, we're going to be talking about Niagara inherited user parameters. So say that you had to make a Niagara emitter, and then you had to make a few different Niagara systems from that emitter. And the only differences between them were color. And you wanted to make sure that there was a user parameter shared across them. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create our effect. So we're going to right click, go to effects, and we're going to make a Niagara emitter from the template of upward mesh burst. And we'll call this something like NE base. And then from here, we're going to right click and we're going to create a Niagara system. And we'll just call this something like NS orange. And then let's make two more. So we're going to right click and we're going to duplicate. And we're going to call this NS blue. And then we're going to do that one more time. So we'll duplicate it and we're going to call this green. Now we're going to go into each one and we're going to change the color. So blue, an initialized particle. Change this to blue and we'll save it. In green, we'll open that up. Go to initialized particle. Change this to green. And we'll save it. And the last one is already orange, so we don't have to change that. So we know that we can go into any one of these Niagara systems and we can add a user parameter by coming up to this blue box. And we can just add one right here and we choose what kind of type we want it to be. Or we can also come to the parameters window and we can add it from here as well. But that won't make it so they're shared across each one of these systems. So what we want to do is we want to come into the Niagara emitter, and you'll notice that there's no blue box here, so there's no way that we can add a user parameter. But in fact we can. If we have our parameters window open, you can see that there is user exposed here. So we can add something here like a float, and we can give it a name. My sweet float. And we'll save that, and then let's go take a look at one of our systems. Now, we open up our system, we should see that there's a user exposed parameter, but there isn't. Now, I don't know if this is a feature that is still being worked on, but if we come back to our emitter, you'll notice that our user exposed parameter is gone, the one that we just made. So what you need to do is whenever you create a user parameter in here, my sweet float, you need to use it. So I'm going to go to scale mesh and I'm going to put this in the scale curve. I'm just going to drag and drop that right here and I'm going to save it. And now if we go back to any of these systems, you should see that we have our user exposed parameter here. Now it is nice that you can make a user parameter in the Niagara emitter and it will carry across to all of your other systems, but you still have to come into each one to set a default value, and they all default to a value of 0. In your Niagara emitter, there's no way that you can just set this user variable because it's not of type emitter or particle. You can try and set this as an existing parameter in any one of these, and you'll see that it just doesn't show up. Now just the same, if you revert that in your Niagara emitter and you save this, close out, go back to your systems, you'll see that that user parameter is now persistent. So it's a little bit of a loophole, a little bit of an oddity, but overall this is a way that you can carry your user parameters across multiple systems. Alright guys, if you thought this video was useful and it helped, please let me know by commenting down below and liking the video. Thanks guys.